If you have to return your office chair, replace a part, or transport it to another location, you may realize that you have to disassemble your office chair. In today's video, I'm going to tell you 6 things that you should consider before you disassemble your office chair. Hi, I'm Taylor with BTOD.com. Disassembling your office chair can seem like a difficult task if you're trying to put it in the original box for return or in your vehicle for transport. Before you disassemble your office chair, there are several things you must consider. Before you disassemble your office chair, it may be helpful to remember how it arrived. Some office chairs come in multiple pieces, which means you can most likely disassemble the chair in the opposite order of assembly. If your chair arrived fully assembled, you will need to figure out what you can and cannot remove so you don't damage your chair. Some manufacturers provide disassembly instructions, which can be helpful when taking your chair apart. When it comes to disassembling your office chair, think about why you need it disassembled. Ideally, you don't want to disassemble parts of the chair that aren't necessary. Try to disassemble the chair as little as possible so you can prevent any damages to your office chair. It is always possible to contact the manufacturer to find out which parts you should and shouldn't remove from your office chair when disassembling it. You should also never remove parts that are inside the mechanism. Looking at your office chair, you should be able to tell which parts can and cannot be removed. If you assembled it with screws, you should be able to take those parts of the chair off. Parts that are connected with screws will easily be able to be removed from your office chair. These are usually parts such as a headrest, backrest, or armrest. Parts that are connected to the mechanism without screws may be more difficult to remove. For example, removing a cylinder from the mechanism can be difficult, especially if the chair has been used for years. The cylinder is only connected by tension, so releasing that tension can be a challenge. There are some office chairs that should not be removed at the cylinder, such as the Herman Miller Aeron and other Herman Miller office chairs. There are parts of your office chair that you can't or shouldn't remove so that you do not damage the chair. For example, if you have a chair like the Steelcase Leap, you will not be able to remove the back or the arms because they are built into the frame. The mechanism on your chair is something we highly suggest you do not remove from your chair because they could malfunction. If your chair arrived fully assembled, there's probably a reason for it. Removing any parts from a chair that arrived fully assembled can cause damage to the chair. There is also a possibility for damage when removing the cylinder from your chair. When disassembling most office chairs, you will most likely have to remove the cylinder from the mechanism and/or the base. What most people do not realize is that if you have sat in the chair for months or even years, the cylinder will be more difficult to remove. When an office chair is assembled, the cylinder is usually set into the base and then the chair is set on the cylinder. The cylinder stays in place with tension, and breaking this tension is not always easy. In most instances, to remove the cylinder from the mechanism, you will need something to break the tension, such as a pipe wrench. While the pipe wrench is the easiest tool to remove your cylinder, it can actually cause damage to the cylinder. If you're planning on keeping your cylinder, you will want to prevent the pipe wrench teeth from marring it up. If you get deep gouges on your cylinder from the teeth, the metal shavings and scratches get into the housing of the cylinder when you reassemble the chair and depress the seat height lever to go down. Your chair height will most likely not move past these scratches and will make your chair difficult to operate. Essentially, this means that your cylinder is ruined and you will probably need a new one. Once your cylinder is out of the mechanism, you may need to also remove it from the base. This can also cause damage to your cylinder. You will need to use a rubber hammer to hit the cylinder out of the bottom of the base. If you do this, be sure to have a soft place for the cylinder to land so the top of it doesn't get damaged. The main question boils down to, is it worth removing the cylinder from your chair if you're just going to ruin it? Even though there are protective measures you can take, it may cause more harm than good. If you are planning on just replacing the cylinder, you won't need to worry about damaging the old one when removing it from your chair. Before disassembling your office chair, you will most likely need to use tools. If you are planning on removing the cylinder from the chair, you'll need to use a large pipe wrench and a rubber mallet. If you're removing other parts such as arms, backrest, or seat, you may need a screwdriver or Allen wrench. Be sure that you have all tools necessary to disassemble your office chair. When disassembling your office chair, try to handle the chair with care so that you don't damage any parts. Try not to remove any parts of the chair that are not necessary. All chairs do arrive differently, so be sure to follow the original assembly instructions and work your way backwards. If you do have any other questions on how to disassemble your office chair, always contact the manufacturer for guidance. If you're ready to disassemble your office chair, we do have a full video linked above to show you tips and tricks and a few ways to disassemble your office chair. We also do have a full blog post linked in the description below to help you out. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.